the channel. Today, it is finally going to be the day I take the Hellcat Magnum to the drag strip, and I know a lot of people on my channel have been wanting to know what the car will run in the quarter mile, and you're not alone. I want to know what she's gonna run too. So first, I'm gonna take her down the drag strip in rear wheel drive only mode. Mish Tune is actually helping me tune the car, which has turned out phenomenally because everything is working out great and I haven't had one single issue, and I'm very excited about that. Actually, the only issue I've had is my intake air temps are a little bit high, so I'm gonna be taking care of that maybe in the next video, maybe in the video after that, but I wanna get everything dialed in, so we'll do some tuning at the track, and then I will be turning on the all-wheel drive system, and that is only a click of the button with HB tuners. Right now I have everything turned off, so it's rear-wheel drive only, but I cannot wait to see what she's gonna run. So hopefully rear-wheel drive, we're in the high 10s, and hopefully with all-wheel drive, we're in the low 10s, which would be awesome for this car. I haven't weighed her yet, so I'm hoping she's still like 4,700-ish pounds, but I guess we'll see. I need to weigh the car to see what she weighs and just kind of go from there. But I know a lot of you guys are probably pretty excited about this too. So let's warm the car up, head over to the track, and hopefully I pass tech. Shifting into 8th gear, but I have a 370 ratio. I don't know, maybe that's a 370 ratio going. I was coming over to the Friday night drags, and you can see the low end, the front end is really low. I have no clue, and then it just kind of dropped, which I used my camera to see if the coilover was still connected. It all looked fine on both sides. I have no clue what is going on, but I called the tow truck. I didn't think anything like this was going to happen, but hopefully it isn't something big. The tow truck just got here. I think I figured out what's going on with this thing, and I don't know. We'll see once I jack it up and pull the wheel off. Finished loading it. It was kind of a pain to get it on there just because the front dropped so much. I think I broke a tie rod when it happened, and whatever's going on, because the driver's side wheel is all the way. You can see how turned it is from here. So I guess we're gonna find out. I'll get her home, jack her up, pull the wheels, and see what happens. The truck just dropped the car off, and I have a jack under there. I haven't pulled the wheels off to see what happened to this thing, but something happened. So let's get a socket on there with the impact, pull this wheel off, and I guess pull both wheels off and see what happened, because it sounds like it has broken axles in the front, among other things. This is kind of very odd. You can already see axle grease, so I just pulled the wheel off. Definitely broken axle. Holy, oh man, this is really bad. Oh man, holy Jesus. Yep, broke the axle all the way. Man, holy crap, what happened here? Oh, yeah, our coilover right there broke. That explains why the axle broke. Okay. Yeah, you can see. Holy shit. Yep. Yeah, so I need to pull that off. I'm gonna have to get probably 2 new axles, it looks like. Oh my gosh. Started disassembling some stuff. I probably shouldn't have done this yet, but I need to pull this whole assembly off. So I disconnected the coilover, but as you can see, it's not drooping. And that's because the axle is stuck in between. I hope it didn't mess the front diff up, because as I turn this wheel, you can see it moving. Oh, now it's wedged again. So you can see that it is moving the diff. So hopefully it didn't damage the diff. Another thing, I finally got the coilover unbolted, or what was left of it unbolted, and I need to figure out how I'm going to resolve this issue. Another thing I need to do is I need to figure out what kind of happened. I think there might have been a few things, how this whole coilover system was set up, that I need to improve on. So it's probably not 100% the pothole's fault, but the pothole was very large and I didn't see it because there was a car in front of me. They went over, like the center of the car went over it. They just missed it, and then my wheel like just 100% hit the hole, and everything just did this. So yeah, like instantly when I heard it, sounded like I broke an axle, and that's because the coilover fell onto the axle and it just all the way to the car, just literally just sheared it out of the boot. So hopefully the front diff isn't bad, and hopefully all I need to do is fix this coilover issue, buy a new axle for both sides. Well, I gotta fix the other side too, just because I think the weight of all of the car, it didn't mess that side up as bad, but it kind of messed that side up too a little bit. So it needs a new axle on that side. Definitely, probably just a boot on that side, but definitely an axle on this side, because this one is completely pulled out of the socket. And then yeah, we'll get her all buttoned up and hopefully she's better the next. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. Very nice. The said road that we're talking about. Yeah. So this is the road that goes into the track. You can see how many potholes have been filled, but just wait for it. There's one. Yeah, that wasn't the one though. There's another one. I mean, you have to avoid potholes, and then if a car's coming the other way, you're kind of dicked. So, but that's not what happened. There was a car in front of me, and I didn't see this one. It's coming up here. Let's see. There's one. Oh, somebody put rocks in it since last night. So it was this pothole right here. Somebody put a bunch of rocks in it. You can see how deep it is before they put the rocks in it. It's like at least a foot deep. So I hit this, I heard a weird noise. I came around this turn right here, and then I'll show you where it all happened. So I probably wasn't the only one that hit that hole if somebody filled it with rocks. Because I mean, it was gnarly when I hit it. Yeah, my driver tire hit there. And then I came around this turn right here, and there's like a Chrysler 300. I think it had a Hellcat swapping in front of me. He missed that hole. I hit it, and then I came down here. I avoided this one. I came across this stuff right here. I was like slowed down for it like I normally would, and then you have to slow down for this stuff up here because it's like a bump. This road is not the nicest road, and then if there's cars coming, you have like no choice, like this guy right here. Bam, bam, bam. But then I came around here, and then I came through here, and I was like, oh man. So I had to hit that pothole too, but I missed that bigger one because there's a car coming. I didn't hit that pothole, but then he came over this stuff. I came up this hill, And then I think when it loaded up, so I missed this pothole with my passenger side, but you hit all this stuff, and I think it loaded weight on this driver's side when I did that. And then I heard another noise, so I turned around here. I was like, oh, well, I don't know what's going on. So I was like, well, I'm gonna turn around. I pulled in here, backed up. I mean, I think nobody is gonna care about this, but I was like, well, I'm gonna just go home. So then I come, and I'm coming back down this hill, and I think it happened, I saw the bearing from the axle, came down here. This side's actually nice and smooth, and where is it at? I think it was after this. Yeah, I think it's right over this hill. So I came through here, and I think it was right here. I was avoiding this stuff, and right as I hit that, where's the bearing? I saw it right there. Right as I hit that back there, it collapsed. There's the bearing from the axle, and I pulled off up here. I was like, oh man, because you could hear the axle just, it sounded like a broken axle, because it did. So I pulled off here, the tow truck picked me up there, and yeah, I mean, this road is probably the worst road to a drag strip or in a road course I've ever been on. The city owns this land and they don't maintain it at all. And I've already been, you know, a bunch of people on Instagram have already been saying, well, sob story, blah, 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 all this stuff. I mean, it's just something that happened. I mean, it happened, so I need to fix it. It is what it is. I mean, I have insurance on the car. My insurance will cover it if I need to, but both axles, so two axles are, I think stock axles are $775 a piece. I might need a new front diff. So a new front diff is like another 950 bucks. And to fix the coilovers, that's probably another like 2,000 bucks right there. So I'd say $5 grand to fix the car. It's crazy if you think about it, just going over like a pothole in a drag strip. I'm not like, people are saying I'm crying about it. I'm just telling you guys what happened. Now that I have everything apart on the Hellcat Magnum and I know exactly what I need to order, I've beefed a few things up. So the axles, I ordered 2 brand new axles because this driver's side axle completely came apart. The passenger side actually just ripped a boot, but I'll just fix that later on and put a new boot on it. I ordered a whole brand new axle for both sides just so everything's new, because the car pretty much has 0 miles on it. So we have, I think, 2,000 miles on this car now, with me driving it around as much as I could, tuning everything with Mish tuned. Also, one thing I'm going to do is beef up. So luckily enough, we didn't damage, or I don't think we damaged the coilover. There was a little snap ring in the top of the you can't really see anything, of the AED Performance upper control arm that popped out, but I put it back in and it looks like the knuckle and all that, besides all the grease that got everywhere. Originally, I thought that I might have broken a tie rod as well when it happened, but luckily enough, we don't have any issues with the steering rack or the tie rods, just the axles and the coilover clevises. So I ended up designing something a little bit more beefy, because originally what I had was something similar to the Tesla Model 3 Performance all-wheel drive clevises, and they don't have, for BC, they don't have any support. They just have like a little tiny thing at the top, and they have like nothing, like they have like these little straps on the side. So what I ended up doing was I pretty much am just going to use the same piece that threads on here. I'm going to machine it down in the next video, and then I have 2 beefy, they're like little wings. I just copied different Tesla clevis mount that looked a lot beefier for a Model Y instead of a Model 3. Both cars weigh a lot. They weigh a lot more than this car. I think a Model 3 Performance weighs like 57 or 6,000 pounds, and I think a Model Y weighs like 7,000 pounds or close to it, which This thing probably weighs 4,700. So the only difference is the all-wheel drive on the Model Y or the Model 3 Performance. It doesn't have an engine in the front, which really doesn't make sense because the car still weighs, so each wheel is going to be seeing that same weight, or less weight than it would. So I don't know. I think that it had to do with the pothole, just because it was so big. Unfortunately, I wasn't going to go and dig the pothole back out. But as you guys saw, there was like river rocks and stuff that somebody put in it. So somebody else hit it and damaged their car. And it made them so mad that they threw a bunch of pieces of asphalt that were laying around and river rocks and whatever they could to fill that hole in, and almost filled it all the way up. So unfortunately, you know, things happen. The roads around here, they are not the greatest. I don't know where our registration fees go, but it definitely doesn't go to the roads. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be getting this fixed. Axles are 11 days out, and all the stuff I ordered from Send Cut Send, or I designed it, ordered it from Send Cut Send. It'll be way beefier, pretty much overkill. It probably could go on like a diesel truck now, but we won't have any more issues and it will be a lot beefier. This is just something that, this is a lot of engineering that went into this, and kind of like, I'd say like engineering slash backyard engineering. You know, I was an engineer for a company, but I have been building this car to do what it does. You know, you have to test stuff out. If you don't test stuff out, you don't know what's gonna break. And I don't think it was an issue with the clevises or the axles or anything like that. I just think it was, the hole was so big that it hit just at the right angle. It just, I feel like it hit when I drove through it. I shouldn't have drove through it, but you know, the car was in front of me, and I just like right on the edge. And it just kind of like, I don't know, it felt weird, turned around, and then that's when it collapsed. So hopefully we get all this stuff sorted out. I think I'm gonna just end up, the whole fan issue, since I can't really get that resolved, I'm gonna end up just 3D printing or designing, and then not really 3D printing, but I'll 3D print molds and then use injection ABS so I could have a new fan shroud. I'll use the Durango fan because it's a 20-inch blade instead of the 19-inch blade. We won't have any more issues because it's getting warmer out. I want the AC charged, plus my engine is gonna want the AC charged, so we can have those nice frosty air intake temps. That'll be coming up, and hopefully this thing's on the road for next week's drags. And I've already called the city, so hopefully maybe they'll fix the road, and nobody else will experience what I have been experiencing. But if you like these videos, make sure to click your subscribe button, thumbs up, throw a comment below, share this video with a friend. And also, if you haven't seen any of the other parts of this build, there's like over 100 episodes. So go check it out. As always, see you guys next time.